What does the new exciting Malayalam superhero film Lokah Chapter 1 Chandra have in common with The Man from Earth and Spring, two independent films? If you know the answer, you know we cannot give that twist away. Welcome to FOMO Fix. I am Sudhish Kamath, your spoiler-free guide to film and television. So yes, we will be checking the hype on Lokah Chapter 1 Chandra that stars the fantastic Kalyani Priyadarshan, who, as the kids would say, is the pookie of the moment and is on her way to become India's sweetheart. I also have the heads up on Tehran and the reinvention of John Abraham, who seems to be in his late career Nic Cage era. For TV Gold, I take a look at 3 of my favorite women-led ensembles, which are all way better than Sex and the City, and I'll tell you why. Stay till the end. Every time we wonder if pop culture has moved away from scripts and stories to bask in its all vibes era, there's always a Malayalam film that assures us that all's good with good old storytelling. Lokah Chapter 1 Chandra released on Friday and opened to rave reviews, and I'm glad I was there to catch a piece of the action on the first day, first show, minus the hype. Unlike Coolie, where we knew pretty much everything about the film thanks to the hype and pre-release interviews and got very little other than the superstar vibe, Lokah Chapter 1 Chandra, written and directed by Dominic Arun with additional screenplay and dramaturgy by Shanti Balachandran, actually packed quite a few surprises. Let's unpack what makes this delightful package of thrills, laughs and superhero action work. Mythology or world building is what makes or breaks a film. Now, Marvel has had years of comic book history to feed its mythology, and Lokah borrows from the legends of folklore and sucks us into its world building from the very first scene, building intrigue little by little. Every scene teases us towards the reveal and characters are set up with a great amount of detailing. I love the subplot involving the 3 slacker dudes and the cat, especially for how it uses the textbook save the cat moment that helps us get invested with the characters very early on. But again, it's used as a tease and builds anticipation so much that when the superhero reveal actually happens, we want to whistle. It's such a visceral moment to see the superhero introduced with strength and vulnerability. And Kalyani Priyadarshan seizes the opportunity to shine, and writer-director Dominic Arun along with writer Shanti Balachandran let the story unravel, letting us on the superpowers little by little, trusting the audience to be intelligent. Slowly we get acquainted with the girl, the boys next door, the alpha male protector. Without getting into the delightful cameos, let them surprise you. I must say I love the bit when she slaps the entitled good guy who rescues the damsel in distress. This is a throwaway moment played for laughs, but it's all political. Halfway in, I was already convinced that Lokah is the film of the year, and by the time it ended, I knew they were just getting started. Finally, here's a franchise to be excited about because the makers know what they're doing. And in a forget the script, enjoy the vibes era, this superhero film needs to be celebrated by the pan-India audiences. And once you're done, also hunt and watch the 2 independent films I was talking about, The Man from Earth and Spring, that may have inspired a twist or two in Lokah. But as they say, it's not about where it's from, but where you take it to, and Lokah takes it straight to her heart. Make way for Goddess Kalyani, watch, whistle, worship. There was a time when it was widely believed that John Abraham cannot act and is just a pretty face. But then something changed around Madras Cafe, and even more recently in The Diplomat, where he didn't punch anyone. No jingoism, just a man doing his job. So John Abraham finally gets to go berserk in his new thriller Tehran, streaming on Zee5 and on Netflix now, a film I thoroughly enjoyed. John Abraham is having a late career Nic Cage moment with his choice of roles, picking the ones that suit his strengths, films he can carry with his limited range of histrionics. He knows he has the charm, the looks and the presence, and all he needs to do is pick a role that suits him and a script that has life. Tehran is an impossible mission movie. Iran wants to kill him, Israel has deserted him, and India has abandoned him. Yet, John Abraham will get into Tehran to avenge the death of a flower seller girl that he knew and kill an Iranian operative responsible for a bomb blast in Delhi in 2012. The writing is sharp, the pitch is just right, and perfect for John to die hard once again. Tehran delights us with the simple joys of watching an old school action movie with its relentless sense of pace. Tehran is proof that even a bare minimum script with a simple story well told and escalating stakes makes for a better film than any pan-India star-studded mess that is all vibes. Some actors reinvent themselves. John Abraham just pressed Control Nic Cage and hit enter. Respect. How and when did Sex and the City, written by a man, Darren Star, go on to become the quintessential show about female bonding? Now, I didn't hate the show, but I have to say I had no choice but to watch the films. But thankfully, I'm single now and don't have to watch the spin-off, and just like that. So here I am to recommend to you 3 shows that are way better than Sex and the City. It's a myth that men don't enjoy the chick flick or the rom-com, because what separates the good ones from the bad is how many cliches they avoid, what tropes they subvert, and of course the representation of men. Because if rom-coms are to be believed, there are only 2 kinds of men. 1, the bumbling geek, 2, the cheating player. And both of them will try to win her over by making amends even if she's at fault, because at the end of the day, she's just a girl. Cue Zooey Deschanel's sad face. So in random order, here we go. 1. Gilmore Girls. When your heart is involved, it all comes out in moron. Absolutely Lorelai. Amy Sherman Palladino, the creator of Marvelous Mrs. Maisel, crafted 3 universally loved seasons of Gilmore Girls before the show about the mother-daughter duo as friends, polarized fans. Given the 21 plus episodes of 40 plus minutes runtime, it's easy to see why more of the same thing in different iterations does yield diminishing returns. But Gilmore Girls is comfort viewing at its best. The writing is consistently smart in the first 3 seasons. The first remains a personal favorite given how real and lived in it felt. Even the boys and the men in the show never ever feel like stereotypes. We see where Mrs. Maisel got her funny bone from in the banter between the Gilmore Girls of 4 different generations. Yes, this is probably the most traditional or conservative in the genre, given how family is the glue that holds the characters and the subplots together. But let's for a moment think about the context of when it was aired and produced. Sex and the City was the dominant discourse when 33-year-old Amy, after a decade of writing sitcoms, decided to look at small-town affairs and family dynamics there. She looked at the heart of America and young women growing up, young single mothers, the conflicts between generations, the differences and the similarities. So if you're a young woman staying away from home, get adopted by Gilmore Girls and let the warmth of family comfort your pangs of growing up. 2. Girls. Creator Lena Dunham starts the show roasting stereotypes, from the girls who love Sex and the City to the guys who love Say Anything. When most stories in the genre, including Sex and the City, are about women trying to find a man or keep a man, Girls is that rare show that keeps the focus on, well, girls and not men they like. Dunham keeps it real by focusing on complicated relationships women have with other women, the mess and twisted dynamics of female friendships. This is a show where even the men are so well written. Watch out for the episodes she's written with producer Judd Apatow, and you'll see why it transcends the genre while also redefining it. Unlike Gilmore Girls, this one has a lot of sex and nudity, so it's not safe for home viewing. 3. Broad City on JioStar. If you love Seinfeld or Curb Your Enthusiasm as much as I do, this might just be your new favorite show. The leads Abby Jacobson and Ilana Glazer, the showrunners and the writers of many of the episodes, do most of the heavy lifting. Their chemistry is electric. It is possible to fall in love with 2 girls at the same time, especially if their names are Ilana and Abby. Their breezy banter is often a riot. The awkward confrontational situations set the stage for escalating laughs, and the hat tips keep coming. Broad City is a sitcom that loves and celebrates other sitcoms, from Friends to Seinfeld to Curb Your Enthusiasm, the show often doffing its hat to Larry David. It's the most fun I've had laughing watching a show in this genre, and I cannot recommend it enough. Now, Sex and the City will make my top 10, but not before 5 other titles. Let's see what they are. Why Are You Like This, which is all about Aussie irreverence. The Bold Type, which is a woke SATC. Never Have I Ever, which is like a desi Gilmore Girls. Insecure, black girl bonding. The Crazy Ex-Girlfriend that subverts the genre. I'll be sharing more of my favorites in this show, but that's all I have for you in this edition of FOMO Fix. Let me know about your favorites in the comment section. Catch up and see you soon. Goodbye.